to a Chessima Chess. And guys, it seems like we have now crossed 50,000 subscribers. So I'm going to do a Q&A video to celebrate. And it's going to be a bit more lo-fi, maybe, than my usual videos. And if I don't get to all the questions in the time that I have here, I will probably have to switch locations for the rest of the questions, because they are still rolling in. But first I'd like to say thank you. 2,570 days ago, I went on YouTube and I clicked some button, create a channel, and I named it ASMR Chess. And now there are 50,000 people. That is you guys who has subscribed to this channel. That is crazy, and we're still growing. So let's answer some of your awesome questions, shall we? The first question is from Made Horn Days. Don't know if I pronounced that correctly. And they are saying, love your videos. Thank you. Question: how do I learn chess as a beginner? You come to the right place. I'm not a total beginner, but I'm experiencing this stagnation. It's very hard to climb in ranking from 800 elo, and I don't know if I should learn theory, and how much, and how. Do I read books? I'm already watching videos. That's something, I guess, he's writing. There's a lot of questions in this. Just let me here. How many moves ahead should I plan? Do I plan all the moves or only the best ones? My opponents usually don't play the best possible moves. I'm very confused now and wanted to ask you if you have any advice, if you know what I mean. Thank you, keep up the good work, smiley face. Also, is it just me, or does playing chess with pieces in real life feel better than digitally? Well, to the last question, that feels so much better. Like there's something archetypal about this. Something that speaks to something very deeply human. Where if you go and Google the Lewis chessmen, like they are some beautiful ivory chessmen from 1200. They were found a couple hundred years ago. They're beautiful. And like when you look at those things and you think, okay, people were playing chess with chess pieces that we can recognize and we could play with today, no problem. And they were playing chess with these things 800 years ago. You just get a sense of something deeply human, like something deep within us that chess appeals to. Something about solving problems, something about overcoming adversity. And with the pieces you have the feel, you have the weight, you have the physicality, you have the ASMR component. Whereas digital chess, also awesome, but it's very time specific too. It's not universal in the same way. So I would say absolutely it's much, much cooler to play with pieces like this, although I play a lot of online chess as well. About getting better, there's this channel you should watch called ASMR Chess. And it's really good. No, if you stagnate, that's where chess becomes really deep, because everybody has like some amount of natural talent for chess, of innate ability. And when you reach that point, say that you are like, okay, your natural talent brought you to 800. Now it gets interesting, because now you have to become better than yourself. You don't want to be better than your opponents. You want to be better than yourself. So in order to do that, you must understand stuff about yourself. For me, it was, I reached a plateau, and then I had to really look, because I didn't get any better, and I had to look, okay, what could I do to get better? And I had to look at myself and see what flaws did I have in my game. And I found out that I was forcing my will on the position too much. And that actually something, you know, a flaw I had in life in general, that I thought that I could will situations to be how I wanted. You know, if I just tell this story about who I am, then that will be who I am. You know, and I'm an aggressive chess player, so I will make this attack, I will sacrifice a piece, and then I'm going to make a beautiful checkmate. But then maybe my attack didn't work, my opponent defended, it was a bad idea or whatever, and then trying to insist on the narrative made me lose some games where I could have just said, okay, I'll play patiently now, I'll be patiently waiting for a chess game to explode on, and I'll just, you know, I'll try to find the best moves. Because Fischer, for all his flaws, had some really great quotes. And one of the things he said was, I don't believe in psychology, I believe in good moves. And your psychology and your narrative will want to have you only consider a little bit about what's going on the chessboard. And then you want to say, okay, that brought me that little bit. I concentrate on the chessboard. That brought me to 800 or 500 or in some cases like 1500. Some people have very great innate talent, but everybody stagnates. And then you get to like whatever, 1500, 800, whatever. And that's, you know, that's the little area that your brain was wired to understand. Now you put that aside, you do something else now. That's my best attempt on answering that question. Then Christian R asks, what is your favorite chess game of all time and why? And I have a couple of candidates. I think the opera game is, it's just so beautiful and logical and in a way easy to understand. It has a great story. I think the Kasparov Immortal I've really liked for a long time, just because it's like, it's so precise and so like, it's just such a good chess game. Basically, you know, that's like, if you ask grandmasters, that's the game that they also name, because it's just amazing. I think historically, I really like the Deep Blue Kasparov game that I did a video on, where Kasparov lost, and I think just historically the fact that we have a chess game to show when computers, you know, really when we entered a new age in computing. I think that's a pivotal moment for humanity. I think it's so beautiful that we have a chess game to show that. Also in computer science, I'd say there are like one particular game between AlphaZero and Stockfish when they first published those games, where AlphaZero, you know, sacrifices pawns to cramp Stockfish, and it looks like it's using intelligence that we can understand. Like when you see Stockfish play, it's always like these moves that don't make any sense, and you know, you have to look at some lines 20 moves deep to understand what's going on, but there's no like plan to say. But AlphaZero, you know, the games where it plays with a plan, I think that's also very beautiful. So off the top of my head, that's some of my favorite games, but there are so many. It's like It's like asking, what's the best song ever? It depends on the day. Then Morris Bates asks an audiophile questions. Do you have a favorite microphone, mixer, preamp, and software? I've been subscribed since the Live Blitz series, and I have loved your strategy videos and coverage of historic games. I have often wondered what kind of sound setup you use to produce the rich quality of your narrations. Okay, I'm very happy you ask, because I am a huge audiophile. And okay, so I have for these sounds, these guys. These are MKH50. There's one more there. From Sennheiser. So they are short shotgun style cardioid microphones. And for my voice, I have moved to this guy, which is a Schoeps Semit 5U that I really like. I used to record on a Neumann TLM 94, going through an Avalon VT737 preamp. But actually with this setup here, it's just like this microphone is so big, it's like huge. And I simply had to stop using because I couldn't see the board. So I got this smaller one, or like it's long, but it doesn't obscure my view of the board that much. And I'd like to get back into putting some preamps on. Now I'm only like using the built-in preamps in what is absolutely the weakest link in my setup, which is, I don't know if you can see this, this is the Zoom Recorder H6. It's a decent thing, but the AD converters are, you know, compared to the just insane microphone setup, it's a bit ridiculous to have such a low-end piece of equipment. So I'd like have some audio devices I'd like to connect. It's like some RME audio device, and I have to, you know, have the time and the money to do it in the best way. So for software, I use actually just Mix and Premiere Pro these days, because I don't need, with this quality of microphone, I don't need to do much. Just do a little bit of EQ, do a little bit of compression. You know, it's not much I need to do actually. And yeah, like usually I used to mix in Pro Tools when I did that, and yeah, you know, but that's, you can use anything if you have some good plugins and you know what you're doing. Doesn't matter too much about the software. Okay, so Aaron Jones asks, who are some of your favorite musicians and bands? And I listen to a lot of music, like a lot. I think in blues, I really like Robert Johnson, John Lee Hooker, Howlin' Wolf, Eric Clapton, B.B. King. In rock, I haven't gotten that deep into rock. That's like one of my projects right now. You know, trying to understand the Beatles and how they kind of laid the foundation. I'm also going to get deeper into Jimi Hendrix to understand, you know, how he came in with his virtuosity and had the blues and the rock elements. And in hip hop, for instance, I'm like really into lyricism, like Rakim, MF Doom, Eminem, but also just like people who can do bangers, like for instance, Still DRE by Dre is like one of my favorite tracks of all time, even though it's it's a banger. That's a piece of music instead of just like poetry. Then there's also like completely different stuff, like some more folksy stuff, like I really like Stan Rogers. I mean, there's so much music. Like I'm only like through 2 genres, and I'm just opening up the more folksy stuff right now. And if I have to answer more questions, I think we'll have to go to the next question, because otherwise I'll be talking about music for a long time. Michael Kiripolski asks, could you please record a video of you playing chess with someone? I would like to see you play with someone else. Yes, I can, I will. It's coming up. It's just logistically, it's quite hard, because I have this huge microphone set up, and I need to get like my opponent I have to move the camera, and I have to, like, there's some logistics, but that's a video that will come at some point. Then we have Green Submarine asks, will you do a face reveal? And I'm not planning to. Maybe at 100k subscribers, maybe at 1 million. I'm kind of a private person, and I like really to keep the focus on chess. So the answer is not right now. Then there is PJ O'Sullivan says, kiss, marry, kill, Morphy, Tal, and Fischer. And the kill is easy. It could be either. They're all dead already. I think I would marry, like, all of these guys. Like, Tal is probably the nicest guy. I think Morphy was kind of weird. I don't know if you know his story, but he was kind of weird. And Fischer was super weird. And Tal is like, he was the closest thing to, I think I would marry Tal. He's like a guy you would like to hang out with. He's not, he drank heavily, he chased women, he gambled. So he was not, I don't think the perfect husband, but I think he was a hell of a guy to hang out with. And Kiss, I don't know. I think Fischer's the best looking of those guys. Alright, then we have, how old was you when you first started to play chess? This is Keith Big Muscles. At least on a semi-competitive level. I was, I guess, 6 years old when I learned how to play chess, but I was in my early 20s when I learned like that chess can also be a competitive game. Until that time, for me, chess was just a game like any other game. And then in my early 20s, I discovered, okay, this is so deep, this game. Then I think we'll do one more question, and then we have to switch the setup. Next week's stuff, okay, asks, is it often that you receive bloopers background noise while recording? If so, will we ever receive a compilation, I guess he's asking. And then he says, congratulations on 50k. Yeah, there's background noise all the time. It takes so long to edit these videos, you wouldn't believe, because like I don't have a soundproof studio, so every time a car passes, every time in the smallest sounds, because these microphones here, they are unbelievably sensitive, and I like that. It gives the, you can hear even my tongue moving around inside my mouth. That's how precise these microphones are. But that also means, like, if somebody opens a door somewhere in the house, they pick it up. So yeah, I don't think I wanted to do a compilation of bloopers, because like Like some ASMR artists I follow have done hilarious blooper reels, but so far my bloopers are just, oh, there's a car, ugh, big sigh, oh, now I forgot to do that thing, or now I have to do this thing. It's, yeah. So I don't think if I get more funny somehow, I'll do a blooper reel. But right now it would be the worst blooper reel ever. Okay, so let's go and change settings. See you in the next setting. Alright, so here we are at the secondary location. We are now at screen capture and a different microphone. This one is a Sennheiser MKH60. That's the long shotgun style. Top of the line microphone from Sennheiser. And I'm here at the Discord where some of my awesome patrons also have asked me some questions. So Hierophant wants to ask what the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow is. And well, the correct answer is African or European, because you need to know this. But in general, this equation is what you're looking for. Then Kisleon is asking what my favorite openings are and my favorite response to e4. And the Queen's Gambit is that's my big love opening wise in chess. I think it has a great history and it's a great interesting opening. It can be defensive, it can be positional, it can be a drawing weapon, it can be super aggressive. It's the one I know best. And I'm working on a video on it actually. And my favorite response to pawn to e4 is the Sicilian Dragon. So Hierophant asks what my favorite trash talk is during a game, and that's not something I really can quantify. That depends on the situation, on the person I'm playing with. I would say go watch how Aronian trash talks. That's pure beauty. How I would assert dominance playing against someone with greater elo. I wouldn't. I don't assert dominance. I hate it when people do that, try to, especially when it's very obvious that it's somebody who is trying to psych me because they don't believe in their chess ability. I just go, play the game, man. That's not for me. That's not something I do. Then let's go. Then Stu asks if I would rather fight one horse-sized dog or 100 dog-sized horses. What up, Stu? Stu's a long time supporter of the channel and just a really awesome guy. The answer to this one is very simple. I would rather fight 100 dog-sized horses. A horse-sized dog is absolutely terrifying. Dogs are aggressive and murderous, and you have to remember that the dog retains its personality even though it's upscaled up to the size of a horse. Nobody could beat a horse-sized dog, whereas 100 dog-sized horses I feel would actually be kind of, horses are not, they are a pack animal, but they are not used to fighting as a pack. It's not like they can work together like lions can work together, and they're actually really timid creatures, horses. So I think you could actually just say boo, and the 100 dog-sized horses would run away. So yeah, not afraid of that. I would fight the 100 dog-sized horses and I would win if I could catch them all. Then Kislia just saying congrats on 50k. Thank you very much. Then Elbemio has a few questions. He says, I'm curious what your favorite chess streamers and ASMR channels are. So chess streamers, I like Anna Rudolph, Ginger GM, Fiancetta, that whole, team. Then I like the Chess Bros. I don't watch too much of their content. I just really like that they are bringing that rock and roll attitude to chess. Right now, I'm just absolutely fascinated by the stuff that Chess24 is doing with the Meltwater tournament. I think they are doing an absolutely incredible job in covering that event. I think Peter Svidler is Peter Svidler is an underrated streamer. Off the top of my head, that would be my answer. Then he said, I would be curious to learn just a little bit about me, not a ton of detail, but I feel like we know nothing about you, like where you're from or even my name. What chess piece do I see myself as? How often do I play? If you could have any chess teacher, current or past, who would it be? Okay, so I'm from Denmark. I'm Danish. I think I'm probably a knight. I'm pretty sure I'm a knight. I play, it's varies a lot how much I play. But basically all the time. Or I'm engaged with chess in some way all the time. If I could have any chess teacher, current or past, who would it be? This question is going to be Kasparov, and that's just because I would just love to hang out with that guy. I think he's awesome, and I think it'd be very interesting to find out how he is, on a personal level. I probably wouldn't be able to gather much information from him, really, because he operates like in a completely different realm. I mean, like a lot of people are thinking, oh, he's nothing because he lost some tournament recently, Meltwater in Croatia, and people are so it's so easy to sit with some engine and and judge people. And you know what? Go ask top grandmasters how it was to play Kasparov in the 20 years he was number one. Go and ask them, and then you'll see why he's the GOAT. He's saying congratulations on the 50k. Thank you very much. It's unbelievable. Not sure how you plan to show the Q&A, but a soft-spoken video with some chess sounds would be great. Okay, I'll see if I can find some chess sounds. Stu also wants to know what I think of 3D chess, and I know that it has become sort of a political commentator thing, like when some politician is doing something that's really just crazy, they're saying, oh, the guy's playing 3D chess. I think like it was under Trump that they started doing that, and what I can understand what they mean by it, but chess is complicated enough. I mean, you don't need to be playing 3D chess, just play chess, just get a grasp of chess before you start 3D chess. I don't know, I don't even know how you play 3D chess. I know it looks awesome in Star Trek. Then Asia asks, my question would have to be, do we ever plan on doing any more full whispered videos in the future? The whispered parts are my absolute favorite. Yeah, Lars is also always asking this, and I will do like a exclusively whispered video in the future for you guys. I'll do the next couple questions in a whisper, and I hope you like it, and there will come a whisper video sometimes in the future. Then Rice Harrelson is saying, I'm loving the history videos right now, but if you want some easier videos, I'd really like to games at my own level and talk about the games as they're happening. As fun as it is to watch you cross us dear patrons, lol. Yeah, okay. I actually have maybe some interesting players I'm going to play that I'm trying to see if I can get that all to work. I'll tell you more about that, but okay, definitely noted. And then he says, I'd like to know about my travels. You've mentioned having seen or met famous chess players before. Could you talk about that? Do you have any of your own games that you're really proud of? Yeah, I haven't traveled too much for chess, and I haven't met that many famous chess players. I met once when he was in Denmark, and I met Eric from Chessboard once. He was really cool. Yeah, and I have a little. That's kind of a boring answer, but maybe sometime in the future I can do a video interview with Yasser Saruman, who's like a famous chess player and who's like the Bob Ross of ASMR, and then hopefully you would like that. I don't have any of my own games that I'm really proud of at the moment. Usually when I play a good game, then I'm really proud about it. And then, after some time passes, I just think, okay, it was a fine game for my level, but, it wasn't something special at all. So I don't have anything favorite right now. And that was it for the patron questions. Okay, and so we are back at the comments. Joao Pires, sorry, butchering the pronunciation there. Do you remember what was your biggest wow moment during a game of chess and why? 50k, congrats, thank you. In a game that I didn't play, I would say it's when Nishmatinov sacrificed the queen against Chernikov, because it came like, you don't sacrifice a queen that early usually when it's not part of opening theory, and he sacrificed the queen for, like, not for a checkmating attack, but just for like extremely subtle but also concrete compensation. It's just you have to see the game. It's bananas. It's just absolutely one of the most, maybe the most beautiful queen sacrifice in all of history. It's insane. In my own games, I found a combination once in an over the board game where I beat an FM, and I didn't know the guy was an FM. And when I asked, we talked about the game afterwards, and when he said he was an FM, I just oh my god, I just beat an FM for the first time. So that was like the most surprising kind of wow moment. And it also taught me that you really shouldn't pay attention to your opponent's rating. If you can almost find a way to not know it, it's even better, because it's not about who you're playing. You don't win because you have the highest rating. You don't lose because you have the lowest rating. As Fischer said, there's no psychology, there's only good moves. What's my favorite kind of music? Asks Imger Cole or something. Well, I talked about that earlier. I like blues, hip-hop, rock, classical. I like folk. I like basically all music if it's good, if it has substance, if it's done by somebody who has committed themselves to the art of making the music. Also like some pop actually. Anyways, then we have Checkmate. I don't know how to pronounce it. Probably a Turkish name. Just said Arnaq, please. I know. Working on it. Then Coriolan asks, what drives me the most to do this channel? That's the comments. Like the fact that I don't know if it drives me, but the reason that I haven't given up is basically you guys. Because like you're always so encouraging and nice, like everywhere on the internet. People are mean and and they just sit in an anonymity and channel all their frustration into the screen and don't realize or don't care that people are actually getting like hurt, not really hurt, but they are messing with people for real. Like all over the internet is like that. There's a lot of places that I don't come anymore. I don't have Facebook, I don't do Reddit, I don't like all this stuff because I just got too tired of trolls like that. And you guys just always awesome and loving and caring and encouraging and funny, and yeah, so that's the reason I haven't given up. What drives me to do it? I don't know. I need to do it. I feel like I have to do it. I don't know why. It's satisfying. I can't explain that. Then Rick Astley wants to know when I started playing chess. I learned to play chess when I was a kid, like 6 years old, but I didn't take it serious until much later. What I can tell you is that I'm never going to give it up. I am never going to let you guys down. And I won't run around and desert you. Is that how it goes? I can't remember. And then Lord Denda asks, please tell us which 2 openings for each color do you consider to be the most solid. So for white, the London currently is the most solid as a drawing weapon. It is, even though it's played a lot, it is quite new as a top opening. So there are not there has not been developed any like really serious challenges to it as a winning attempt for black. Then secondly, I think probably the Queen's Gambit, or the Reggie, going into the Queen's Gambit to just keep it ultra safe and flexible. For black, most solid is the Berlin defense. The Berlin Wall, absolutely without a doubt, the most solid defense. Even Alpha Zero agrees. And I guess then the strongest defense could very well be the Sicilian, probably the Knight off. But I wouldn't say necessarily it's solid. So I'm not sure about what to put as the second most solid opening for black. Then the Jimpy Bird asks, will we get any more artistic Ode to the Night style videos, or a video like the Magnificent Graveyard talk? The chess content is fantastic regardless. Thank you very much. So if you haven't watched these videos, they are like beat poetry videos I did, or maybe like rambling videos I did on. And I don't think I have so many chess videos I want to do, and I'm afraid that maybe a lot of my viewers would be very confused if this ASMR chess channel just started posting philosophy all of a sudden and beat poetry. I think I've had quite some success with streamlining the channel this year, and for now I'll keep focusing on the chess. I'd love to do more philosophy, beat poetry, rambles and stuff later, and yeah, write in the comments if you would love to see more like that. Then Ferreter asks how or why I started playing chess, and there are two answers to that question. My father taught me when I was a kid, and then when I was in my early 20s, I got obsessed with it, and I had a lot of time on my hands. I was not feeling very well, and I was home a lot of the time, and I needed something to do, and chess fitted my personality perfectly. So that's it. Then Dan Poli Yuha asks, do you live in Denmark? What would you change in your country if you could? Where would you like to live if you had to move? Thank you for your amazing work. Oh, thank you so much. I do live in Denmark. Not much to change about my country if it's like political stuff. I would change the weather a little bit if I could, because the winters are really dark. And where would you like to live? Where would I like to live if I had to move? I would like to live all kinds of places. I would like to try to live in the US. I would like to try to live, like, I can't even admit there's so much of the world I haven't seen. And I would like to try to live somewhere else with I think the US is very interesting, but the culture is kind of similar. I'm very familiar with the culture. So maybe even like Japan or South Korea would be more interesting, and I think it would be very interesting experience to sort of immerse myself in a completely different culture. Then we have Andrew Dumas, who asks if we could get a mini setup tour of my space. Yep, I think I would like. I think I would like that to do a video like that at some point. He also asks who or what caused my love for chess. Well, my father taught me, and when I found out that how deep chess is, like from a historical perspective, from a game theoretical perspective, from AI perspective, from basically a psychological perspective, basically like when I understood that this game is not just another game, that this game has been with humanity for 2000 years, give or take, for a reason. And that was the time I felt, okay, this is really I really get something out of my time when I spend time with that. Then we have some nice words by AO, but not a question. Then your mum Gaylal asks, how did you decide to make the connection between ASMR and chess? What things led you to realize that this idea could work for a channel? And the connection between ASMR and chess was I was watching some ASMR videos and I couldn't find any on chess. I could find like ephemeral rifts video on chess and stuff like that. There were not very many videos, and they didn't have sort of like, it wasn't real serious chess content, and I just felt that the world needed that, so I did it. And what things led me to realize that this idea could work for a channel? Nothing. I did not think it could work for a channel. I had no idea and no hopes or ambitions at all that it would be successful at all. And for many years it was a very slow climb, and I was not like, I always wanted to be like a YouTuber, so it was a dream, but it was not like something I was taking seriously at all. I just had to do it. It was inside me and I had to get it out. Then Captain Chocolate asks what my favorite openings is and if I could do a tutorial. Absolutely. My favorite opening is the Queen's Gambit, and I am working on a tutorial right now. Then Arturo has a compliment but not a question. Thank you. What are your favorite rap lines or verses? I never sleep, because sleep is the cousin to death. Then Chrome ASMR asks if I like Among Us. I haven't tried it, so I don't know. Maui Boy Music asks, who were your biggest inspirations for starting this channel? For all of this between chess ASMR and overall editing. I don't know what that last point of the question is. My biggest inspiration for the channel were like Ephemeral Rift, a chess YouTuber called King's Crusher, because I was listening to a lot of his videos to sleep, but they're not ASMR videos, but they were like, he's the guy who invented doing chess videos on YouTube, basically. Like his channel is like 13 years old or 15 years old or something crazy like that, and he's a really cool guy. So yeah, and ASMR requests was somebody I also was inspired by, in the way that she had an artistic side to her that made me think, okay, this is more than just it's no more than just meeting some need, like that some people want to listen to a pleasant sound and then you deliver the pleasant sound. Like, she showed that you can also, like, you can be artistic with it, and that was inspiring to me, and I thought, okay, maybe there is a place for me here. Then he says, for all of this between chess ASMR and overall editing, and I simply don't understand that question. I simply don't understand. Then Andre Kubecki asks, is Arnaq ever coming back? Girl literally healed my insomnia and depression. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Yeah, I think she will come back. We've been talking about it. It's way more feasible now with the restrictions being lifted. She would like to do more videos. Logistically, it's not easy exactly, but we would really like to do more Arnaq videos. Then Nightmare God asks how I would rate myself out of 10 as a chess player in general. That depends very much on how you view the distribution. So I am actually, like, if you take everybody who plays chess in the world, then I am in the top 0.3%. But if you take everybody who is serious about chess, I am way down on the list. Way down on the list. But I think it's more accurate actually to just go by rating. Like, when I play the best, I do like 2050, 2100 when I'm really feeling it, and I can beat like a master if I have a good day, but I will usually lose to the master, and that means That means basically that I'm a decent chess player in the club. In the club world, for people who are serious about chess, I am decent. Compared to a grandmaster, I'm trash. Compared to a beginner, I'm a god. In the sense that I will win every time. So yeah, it's like, it's funny when people ask me that in real life. Oh, you play chess? Okay, how good are you? Well, it's very hard to answer, because if I play these guys, I will seem like I am the smartest, most insane chess player they have ever met, because I could literally beat any beginner with moving the piece, every piece, in like a second. And that seems extremely impressive. But the thing is that if you are into chess and you know, like a really good chess player, you know that that's not really impressive to beat a beginner. Because the advantage you get of having practiced is so insane. So it's always hard to answer that question. I think I would rate myself as a 6. Then Pile Sandra asked when I start playing chess, and congrats from Patreon support. Well, thank you for supporting the channel. You help pay for the studio that I rent to film in, so that's really awesome. I started playing chess when I was 6 years old. Then 0 Hour TV was my actual chess rating. My over-the-board rating right now is 2021. Shalom Jackie was the highest I've ever been rated. I think I don't have an official rating, but I think on chess.com, on my old main profile, I broke 2100 once, but I don't know how far I got. Then Sorry Casado asks if I will ever do a fate reveal. Congratulations. Well, thank you. Maybe sometime. If I could play any chess player alive or dead, who would it be? It would be Ruy Lopez. Basically, because I would get a chance to hang out with a guy that lived in the 1500s, and that's like he's the oldest good chess player where I know his history, and we would have something to talk about, and that would be the most interesting because he lived most removed from me. Then No One Likes Cat asks, been watching you since video 1. Love the channel and your content. What's the first game of chess you remember playing? Why do you think you remember it? Like, did you watch like since my first video 6-7 years ago? If I understand that correctly, well, thank you for all the years of hanging out on the channel. That's amazing. Thank you very much. The first game of chess I remember playing is I was playing my dad, and I remember it because I was so upset because I couldn't do anything. Like he had, like, positionally, like, he was not a strong player, but you know, I could see like all the moves that I wanted to make I couldn't do because my pieces would get captured, and I was so it hurt. That was my first experience with how much it can hurt to lose in chess. And then I remember him saying, like, he was explaining some move that he had sacrificed a piece in order to gain some other advantage, and I can just remember that, how deep that concept seemed to me, to sacrifice something to gain something else. And I remember it because it was a big moment for me. Then Michael Cronin asks how I am today. I feel amazing. Dude, I have just reached 50,000 subscribers. I cannot begin to explain how insane that is. Like 50,000 people. That's, yeah. I feel amazing. Then Lars asks also questions from some subtle advertising. My Patreon. How can I support the channel and help you make more and even better videos? Well, Lars, you have always been like a huge, awesome, fantastic supporter of this channel, and you can't support the channel anymore. You are already a patron. You're already supporting me on Patreon. You're already watching my videos, coming with good suggestions, making encouraging comments. So, yeah. But I guess you want me to advertise my Patreon, and yeah, guys, I have a Patreon. Like, if you like what I do and you would like to help me pay for the studio I rent and help me take more time off work to do more videos and do them better and more beautiful and with like better preparation and stuff, you can go to patreon.com/ASMRchess and support me there. It really helps the channel grow and keep my content flowing. Then Lars has a second question. What is a video or video topic that you always wanted to make but have not yet been able to, for example due to not having the time or funds? Well, I have like so many videos I want to do. I have a script for Sherlock Holmes Game of Shadows, like a huge video essay I wrote interpreting how chess was used in that film, and it's going to take like so long to edit that and record it, but it will happen at some point. Then I have like a lot of chess history, the history of chess AI engines, ever since Alan Turing wrote the first program all the way up to Alpha Zero and Lila Zero and the newest Stockfish. Then like I would like to do long form videos, like 2 hours on every world champion, like starting from maybe Morphy, like unofficial world champion, and then Steinitz, Lasker, Capablanca, Aljachin, Aljachin, so on, all the way up to date, like with their entire life history and examples from their best games and stuff. I have all this knowledge because I've like researched these people and read books and read articles like for so long. I have all this knowledge and they are so fascinating. There are so many cool games to show and share, and so many stories, and it's just so interesting, and I think I would love to do that. It just takes an incredible amount of preparation. So yeah, those are some examples. Then also, like, last example is I would really love to do more beautiful chess videos with like I have a lot of camera angles and lighting I'd like to do. I have like a lot of technical stuff that I in principle have access to and could do if I only had the time and the money to get like the last things I need, and like, and the, you know, just if I want to spend 100 hours on a video, that's not feasible right now, but I would love to get to a point where that was feasible. Okay, then we have Miami 4054, who's my all-time favorite chess player. Keep up the good work, dude. Thank you very much. My all-time favorite chess player is Garry Kasparov. The Brit Nerd. How do you come to the idea that chess and ASMR were the match made in heaven that you have created? Well, thank you very much. I really liked. I watched a lot of chess videos, and I really liked ASMR, and I wanted to see a chess ASMR video, and there were none real educational ASMR chess videos, so I made some. Then Secret ASMR, congratulations, you really deserve it. Do you have another job outside of YouTube? If so, what is it? I do. I don't make a lot of money, like barely, like almost all the money I make on YouTube I spend on renting space to record in and equipment and stuff. So I absolutely have a job outside of YouTube. I do some audio engineering and editing of video and audio mixing, stuff like that. Like I'm a media guy. So here Dan says, just wanted to say I absolutely love your channel. Thank you. I absolutely love your comment. My question for you is, when you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? When like the first thing I can remember wanting to be was I wanted to be a lawyer, because I watched lawyer shows on television, and there were like these awesome guys, and their job was to convince people through arguments. And that, like, I was a talkative kid. I was like, I'm good at talking. Could that be like a prestigious job where people think you're awesome and you help like prove that somebody is not guilty and help them, don't go to jail, even though like if you like, then I found out that that's not at all how it really is. Then Sanskar says, please do it in the ASMR way, your way, the best way. Do you mean like this? I hope so. What are some of your least favorite openings and why? Somebody played the Blackburn Shilling Gambit against me recently. I was trying out e4 and I don't have a lot of preparation against all the stuff that, like, I don't play e4 that much. And when people play tricky openings that are really unsound, that annoys me when I lose to them. I didn't lose that game actually. I had but I didn't. I fell into the traps in the Blackburn Shilling Gambit, and I had to put up a crazy fight because my opponent had a huge advantage, but I ended up actually winning the game. But that annoys me because it exposes me to the knowledge, like the hidden knowledge that I do know to be true, that I am not good enough at chess to refute an unsound opening over the board. Back in the day I would have said something like, I would have answered that I disliked the Berlin defense because it made for some dry games and a lot of draws. But in reality I think it's actually super interesting. Like, I think all major openings that are real openings, that are actual, like, that are really trying to figure out the absolute best correct way to play chess, they're all interesting, even though they can seem boring, because they teach us about what really lies at the bottom of chess, like what is our best concept of the best moves, and what does that teach us about chess. Then Pierre Emmanuel asks, yeah, that's not a question, that's just a thank you. Well, thank you. Then Paul asks, what are your favorite? Paul asks, what are your favorite gambits and what chess book do you recommend? My favorite gambits, like I have a thing for the Budapest Gambit. Maybe if you've seen that in some of my videos. I think the Marshall Gambit, the Marshall attack, is extremely interesting from a theoretical perspective and has made for some absolutely interesting, fantastic games. I think the Danish Gambit is hilarious and actually pretty good. So what chess book do I recommend? My System by Aaron Nimzowitsch. My System, or Mein System as it was originally called. I think also My Great Predecessors by Kasparov. That's not something that won't make you a better chess player, because you have to be pretty good to understand the analysis, but the historical content is super interesting. Reassess Your Chess by Jeremy Silman. Personal favorite of mine is My Chess Career by Kasparov. Many great books. Then Corvo says, congrats for the big milestone. Well, thank you. My question is, what is your personal opinion about the chess competitive world being divided into open and women categories? Well, my personal opinion is that it's very, very complicated. I would absolutely love to see more women and more females, more girls, and play chess. I think it's really stupid. I think it's really, really stupid that it's considered a man's game, because it's literally a completely non-gender game. There's no physical component to it whatsoever. And I think also the world would benefit tremendously from a female chess world champion. I think that would be awesome. I think it would help prove to a lot of people that women are as smart as men, which is pretty crazy. That is something we need to prove to some people, but it is. And I think so. With that in mind, and going back to the question, open and women categories. So if you don't know what that is, the open categories are like, there are no men's categories. There are open categories where everybody can play. Like, there's no men's world champion. There's just the world champion who is just the best chess player in the world. And then you can be the female or the woman's world champion. And men cannot participate in that championship. And there are categories for, like, there are tournaments only for women and stuff, and you can be a woman grandmaster and you can be a woman international master, and it is far, far easier to get the titles for women than it is to get the open titles that are open to both men and women. And the argument for having like these positive discrimination for women is that it provides sort of a safe space for women where they can come and hang out and feel good and not be, harassed and stuff, and feel safe. And I, like some people, refuse to believe that should be necessary. But I have made chess events, and it doesn't take many rotten apples to pollute a barrel. Doesn't take many rotten apples to be really a problem, actually. So it doesn't matter that almost everybody is cool and awesome. It doesn't take many people to ruin it. And I've noticed that if I do a chess event and I make it, I haven't done any female-only events, but I have made events where I was focusing on making it a nice atmosphere for females. And that could sound sexist, but it really worked. Like, there came many more women and girls, and they were like much more open to learning about the game and learning, like, because I just took like some simple steps to make it more about them, and it really worked. And so from that perspective, I think it's a very good idea from that perspective to have like a serious effort to make cool spaces that are awesome for women to participate in. That's from that perspective. But there is also a really strong argument against that, and that is that chess is not like, there's no disadvantage of being a woman in chess. So a woman shouldn't have any advantage. And like the current female world champion, Ju Wen-jun, she is like, I think, number 384 in the world. And that means that there are a lot of men who could be female women's world chess champion and make tons more money than they do, even though they are way better than she is. So that's unfair in a way. Like just from a pretty basic perspective, that's just unfair. But you can say, okay, there's a practical reason we do this. We want to give women something to play for, a chance to become world champion. And if there is a female world champion, she can be on the front of magazines and in TV promoting chess. And all of that is really true from a practical perspective. It's still kind of unfair. Also because it implies that women couldn't be a real world champion, right? In a way that it implies that, and I think that they absolutely could. And the last thing is basically Judith Polgar's argument. Like if you don't know, I did a video on her. She's like a chess legend. She's the best female chess player of all time. She was number 8 in the world. She beat Kasparov. She beat 12 world champions. She is awesome, and she did not play in women's tournaments at all. Because she didn't want to be like a good chess player for a woman. She wanted to be a good chess player. She wanted to be the best. And so she put herself against the best, the strongest possible opposition, and she rose with the challenge. And she says, get rid of women's titles, get rid of all of that, and just allow girls to prosper and allow them to rise with the challenge. And I can absolutely see that argument as well. So I am undecided on this. I guess my last words on this should be that I think we should just have some women to figure it out, because I can try to understand their perspective and all of that, but we are trying to help them, so they should probably come with the suggestion of how to do it. And it's complicated. Anyways, next question is Audie. Congratulations on 50k. What do I think is the best way to get better at chess? Practice. Play. Then analyze your game. Find out what you did wrong, and don't do that again. Play with somebody slightly better than you, and just continue playing. Read books, watch videos, watch commentary, and do whatever you enjoy in chess. As long as you're thinking about chess, you're getting better. Don't allow your biases to control you. Don't think that because you are this way or that way, then you should do this or that. Like some people are like, oh, but I play chess this way because I'm like super this or that. So I'm like, no. There is a best move. In every position there is a best move. Your personality, your style, your philosophy does not change that. There is a best move, and you have to try your best to find that best move. So don't let your biases control you. Then second question, can you do a video on how to play the mid-game and end-game? I think that is the part where I struggle the most. Yes, I am doing a video right now called how to beat your dad in chess, which is like a sort of one-stop video that takes you throughout a game of chess. And the point is to get to the end game with an advantage and how to convert that. And I will do more mid-game and end-game videos in the future. The channel needs that. So thank you for the suggestion. Third question, can you please never stop making videos? We all need you so much. Stay healthy, happy, and always positive, my friend. on to 100k, and all the best for you and your life. Thank you so much. You are awesome. I cannot promise that I will never stop making videos. Like, I have had this channel for years, and I've had to take breaks again and again and again. Of course, the more viewers I get, the closer I get to the channel, like blowing up to the point where I can live from it. And that, if that happens, I will never stop making videos. If I can provide for myself and my family through the channel, then I will never stop making videos. And it looks like it's possible, but there's a long way to go. So yeah, hopefully I will never stop making videos. Then Christophe Lefrancois, what's up? He's a patron. He's an awesome guy. I played him also. Cool guy. His chess-related question is, what do you think is the best way to improve in chess? And his other question, you strike me as a pretty fun guy. What are your hobbies outside of chess? Best way to improve in chess is to build on, I just answered that question earlier, but to build on that, find out what stops you. Okay, when you reach a plateau, find out what it is about your game. It's probably something psychological, probably a bias, something about the narrative, like who you think you are as a chess player or as a person, and find out, okay, what can I do to improve that? Maybe even look in your general life, like, who do you think you are as a person? Do you think like you are like this really extroverted guy who just goes into every room and is the king of every room? If that's the case, then probably you play aggressive in positions where you should play defensively sometimes, because you get in a position where you need to defend in order to survive, but you still try to play aggressive, and that's not the correct way. And there's like this link between who you are as a person and your chess, and you can grow as a person, and that will grow your chess, and you can grow your chess, and then will grow as a person. Then Kyle, he has a second question. Apparently I strike him as a fun guy. I don't know if I'm a fun guy. A hobby outside of chess. I play Magic the Gathering. I play basically all sorts of games. I'm really into game theory. I like to do music. Like play different kinds of music, lyricism. I like before, it's been so long since I could just hang out with people. I would say like all of the stuff related to hanging out with people, but it's so long since that was normal because of this freaking COVID thing. I used to be like a pretty sociable person. Hopefully I can be so again soon. Hobbies outside of chess. I like to build computers. I like to read philosophy. I like to do philosophy. I like all kinds of stuff. It depends on the day. I'm a very, I go down the rabbit hole with different stuff, and then I'm in that mode for whatever interest has caught my fancy for like a month straight. Then Kyle asks, will there be an Agadmata ASMR collab? Well, it'll probably help my channel, huh? I don't think he would be interested in that. And also, it would be cool. I would definitely be down, but I don't think that will ever happen. I think I'm simply too small of a fish in his world. asking Jack Ryan, what chessboard do you use? I'd love to get a similar one myself. Well, my chessboard is a DGT board. So that means that there's some technology in it so that it can connect to a computer. And you don't need that probably, because it's like $1,000 or $700 or something like that because of that technology. But I've been getting these questions a lot, and I'll have to find somebody who makes like chessboards like that, and then get a deal with them, like some sponsor deal, so you guys can get them like 10 or 20% off. Wouldn't that be awesome? So I'll try to figure that out, find a really nice one that has the same sort of style, and then get you guys a good deal. If you know anybody who does chessboards like that, drop a comment, notify me, and help me make it a reality. Then Nico said, it's not a question but a suggestion. People are looking for chess guides all the time. If you have the time, an ASMR chess guide series on openings would be the best thing ever, and I'm pretty sure it would grow your channel even more. Congratulations on the 50k. Well, thank you very much, and I'll do more opening videos. Then Triggered Boomer says, what is the biggest mistake you've seen a grandmaster make in an important match? In 2004 or 5, I think 2005, pretty sure it's 2004, Kramnik blundered mate in 1 in a drawish endgame against Writ, a chess engine, and had he not, he would not have lost that match, and he would actually have either tied or actually won a match against a chess engine in 2004, which would have been absolutely amazing. Francesco Nava asks where I'm from. I'm from Denmark. Green Submarine, what chess set? I play within videos. It's a DGT chess set from Chess House. And Dido, what up Dido? Asks, congrats on 50k. Well, thank you. And you are getting there, like, if you guys know Dido, we did some, like a collab where we played each other, and he does card magic, he's really cool, and he's growing crazy. A couple months ago, I was way bigger than he is, and he's going to overtake me in like 2 weeks, because he has crazy growth right now, which is awesome. So I'll be coming in your comment section very soon and say congrats on your 50k. And your questions when we can have a rematch, like a couple of days, just hit me up on the Discord and we'll do the rematch. It'll be awesome. Jen, how long have you been playing chess? I entered that before. If I have to tattoos, yes, I can. I have like sort of magic tattoos that I can wave my fingers and then they dissolve. You are somehow exactly spot on with that. If you can think of one, Kyle Clockey asks if I can think of one. What's a move or position in chess that happens a lot but you personally don't like? For example, I hate early pinning knights with bishops in the opening because they get pushed by pawns so easily. Hope that makes sense. Love your videos. Yes, that sort of thing with a move or position in chess, like pinning pawns. When you get deeper into chess, you will notice that if a bishop gets pushed or not gets pushed, there's much more to it than that. And you'll understand that the specific move is not really what it's about. It's about the position, the entirety of the position. And so I would rather try to answer the question if there are positions that I don't like. And I don't like when I have a worse position than my my opponent. But other than that, I think I like all chess positions because they're all interesting. In so many different ways. You know what I hate? I hate accidentally stalemating my opponent in a completely winning position because I have to move really fast. That's what I hate. Then Mr. Jones asks, would I ever do YouTube shorts? I already did one. Also, thoughts on covering ongoing tournaments. I would love that, but it takes me usually about a week to make a video, so it's pretty hard to cover an ongoing tournament. If this channel was 300,000 subscribers and they were all as active as you guys are now, and I had a similar growth on the Patreon, so I would actually be kind of able to live from this and do this completely full time, then I would do that all the time, because then I would only be working with this all the time. And I'll do more YouTube shorts. I actually really like that. Congrats, PCHS says congrats on 50. This is definitely one of my favorite channels. Thank you. Thought about analyzing any Hikaru games? Yeah. I actually analyzed one where he lost to Ginger GM. It's on the channel. It's called How to Checkmate a Genius. And I'd like to do more of his games. I just haven't found the right one yet. Probably some Magnus Carlsen Hikaru game. Congratulations on 50k from Connor Hosipian. Your content gets better with every video. Thank you. And it inspires me not only to become a student of the game, but to love its history. Thank you so much. That's really what I'm trying to do here. That's so awesome that you take that away. The way you weave stories into your videos is truly special. Well, thank you. Where's the question? Here's the question. My question is, what do you think is the best resource / book on attacking? The Wizard's Apprentice. It's a book by Michael Tal. Hands down, best book. But you know what will happen is you read the book and then you will play every game thinking that you are Tal and you will sacrifice a piece, but it won't really be a sacrifice, it'll be a blunder, and then you will lose a lot of games, but you will get a more intuitive feel for attacking when you read the book and when you try that. So go ahead, do that. Lose a lot of games by sacrificing knights and bishops and queens and rooks, and then slowly understand and appreciate the attacking principles. Maria asks if I play competitive chess. I do not. Then Dear Heart asks, congratulations, I love your channel so much and you have improved my chess. Well, that is awesome. Cool, thank you. I know Kasparov is your favorite chess player. He's also mine. Cool. I was wondering what made him your favorite, and do you think we will ever see someone stay on the top for so long like Kasparov? I look forward to more videos and love how you include backstories and history. Thank you all for your hard work. Well, thank you for that very thoughtful comment. The reason Kasparov is my favorite chess player is, of course, his skill. Like, he is undoubtedly in the top 3 of best chess players ever, and he's my pick for the best chess player ever. So that is one component. Then the second component is his style. He has a lot of just mind-blowing attacking games that are just unbelievably beautiful. Then he played in a period of time where we saw the rise of engines, and he was actually involved in that. He invented I don't know if you know that, guys, but Kasparov invented the PGN file format because he wanted like a universal file format to store games. So he invented that together with the Chessbase team. And like he played Deep Blue and like all of that from a historical and human point of view and philosophical point of view. It's really interesting. And lastly, I think that his fundamental principle of learning from mistakes is just so fascinating. Like, he used to be a misogynist, then he understood that that was wrong, and then he became better in using what he had learned from chess. Like, using that, okay, he analyzed what he had been doing, what he had been saying, he found new information, and he improved himself. He was like he's even at the point now where he has become a good public speaker. Like, he's really funny now. If you watch some of his TED Talks, like this, it's really funny because he found out, okay, that was weak spots he had. Then he studied, found out how to get better, and like the humility. Like, he's not. You would say he's an arrogant person, but he's also an extremely humble person in pursuit of getting better. He's never going to say, well, I actually I was actually winning this game. Like, if he found out that he, like in some game he won, and he found out that he had actually made a mistake, he would always go, okay, that's, like, if you even hear him analyze his Immortal game, he'll, like, the first thing he say, okay, yeah, I'm really proud of the game, but that move and was not that perfect, and here I failed to see this and that. So yeah, I think like his personality, and he's just a magnetic person also. Like, he's a really, yeah, he's a cool guy. Okay, then Christian R. What is your favorite chess game of all time and why? It is the one where Deep Blue beat Kasparov in '97. Not the last game, but game 2. Because of the historical and human perspective. Aaron Jones, what are some of my favorite musicians and bands? I have been answered that earlier. I have to go down here to find stuff I haven't. Outside of chess, what are some... Chub ask, outside of chess, what are some of your favorite pastimes and hobbies? Love from Singapore. I like reading, making music, researching weird things that I like, that catches my fancy. Hanging out, playing Magic the Gathering, learning new games, philosophy, that kind of stuff. Mufu asks, I am a big Italian fan. I really hope you'll answer this really hard question. Okay, let's see if I can. If you had to choose between not making ASMR videos anymore or not playing chess anymore, what would you choose? It's just my personal curiosity. Hopefully I haven't put you in trouble. Well... So if I could still do chess videos, I would continue making. I would stop playing chess, but it would hurt. Are you kidding me? It would hurt so much. But I would make ASMR chess videos about games that I haven't played, but about other people's games. And that's just because the community that has arisen around this channel is so awesome, and I don't want to let that go if I can help it. Then LM the Youngin asks, who's better, Magnus Carlsen or Bobby Fischer? And listen, people always ask these questions. And so who's the best guitarist of all time? A lot of people will say Jimi Hendrix, right? And that's a completely legitimate answer. But there are a couple thousand 16-year-old kids today that can play, or who can play anything that Jimi Hendrix could play. Like, they could do all the same things that he could do. Like, literally thousands of 16-year-old kids. So the Jimi Hendrix, like the virtuosity, like how good he was technically, we can't use that to say that that's the reason he's the best guitarist of all time, which I think he could very well be, because it's not like copying what somebody else has done. Like, if it's like playing something really technically hard is very hard, or if it's like playing chess at a very high level, it's very hard. But coming up with it, that is like exponentially more rare, right? So the reason, like the real reason that we could consider Jimi Hendrix one of the best guitarists of all time, or the best guitarist of all time, is his absolute insane impact on guitar playing. His ideas, like the way he put his soul into it, like the vibe, like how his art affected us, right? Not just the virtuosity. That was very popular, and is like I listened to a lot of Eric Clapton, for instance, and I saw an interview with him once, and he was like, yeah, people always talk about the virtuosity, and I'm so good at, he was complaining that he was so bored that he had to do like really long guitar solos at every show, because if you are a master at something, like if you're a master guitarist, that's not interesting. What's interesting is creating something new. And so if we try to answer the question, who's better, Magnus Carlsen or Bobby Fischer? Obviously, Magnus Carlsen is a stronger chess player than Bobby Fischer, because he learned from Bobby Fischer. Bobby Fischer never had the chance to learn from Magnus Carlsen, right? And chess, there are loads of people who are in principle better chess players than Bobby Fischer today, because they all had the very big privilege of learning from Bobby Fischer, how much he developed chess. Chess was not the same. In a way, you could say that Magnus Carlsen is not even playing the same game that Bobby Fischer. He's playing chess 600.5, something like that. Because chess evolves, and understanding of chess evolves. So, who is the bigger genius, Magnus Carlsen or Bobby Fischer? Who had who is the most important chess player? That could be a question, and I think they are currently, in my mind, they are tied for third behind, or tied for second, depending on how you conceptualize it, behind Kasparov currently. And I think Magnus has the potential to grow to strongest ever. And I would say my top 5 is Kasparov, and then and then I don't know exactly the order, but then Carlsen, Fischer, Capablanca, and Lasker, actually, to many people's surprise. Alright, and I know Kramnik agrees with me on that, so it's not completely like on Lasker being top world champion. So it's not completely weird. Then Nightmare Radio Authorized ask, what is the fewest move one can make in Checkmate? 2. You need black can checkmate white in 2 moves. If white helps, it's called the Fool's Mate. Skinner, do you ever plan on doing a face reveal? I have answered that. Do you still ever play against your friend from the Smoky Cafe? Well, I would love to, but COVID has made that really difficult, and like we are planning to, and we will play again. Ariel says, big congrats, thank you. Do you like cheese? And if so, what is your favorite cheese? My favorite cheese. I love cheese, but I think that very much depends on what else I'm eating. You know, I think a cheese should complement the dish. Then Bryn Ring, you're gonna blow up in popularity for sure. Thank you for that. I hope I will. Arnaq, I don't know how to pronounce that. Congrats, amazing achievement. Thank you. 2 questions on my side. 1, what do you think is or are the keys to improve your game when you are beginner intermediate level? I answered that before. And then what do you like look? I like looking. I don't completely understand that. And just to rehash some of, like, to get better, you need to practice, you need to look at your flaws, and you can find your flaws by looking at your own psychology, and then you have to try to overcome yourself. And when you overcome yourself, you grow as a chess player and hopefully as a person. Odyssey asks, where would you most like to visit that you haven't been yet? The moon. What is your favorite place you've been to so far? Cuba, I think. Or the Caribbean in general. Like if we're talking from a paradise, hanging out, nice people, nice weather, beautiful sights perspective, then I really liked the Caribbean. Mr. Big Dick asks, what is the reason I'm so passionate about chess? It's because chess is awesome, and I just fell deeply in love with chess when I was in my early 20s, because it's interesting and beautiful from so many angles. You asks, will you make more videos in the future about opening theory like the Sicilian Dragon you made? Yes, I will. I'm working on Queen's Gambit right now. Project Piano. Congrats, I'm interested in learning more about you in general, background, education, what you do outside of YouTube. I got into chess and creating videos. A couple questions regarding YouTube. What's your favorite part of making videos and how long do they take to create? So I think I spend like about a week doing a video usually. It will take a day to research and memorize the game and analyze the game and be sure that I know what kind of, like, what narrative I can find through the moves and find out, you know, what questions would a beginner ask. Like, because a lot of the times what I try to do with my videos is to show a game so that it can be sort of self-contained and understood from a beginner perspective. And so I try to really, ask myself all the questions that I think that you would ask, and then try to answer them in the video. That takes about a day. Then it takes about a day to record the video, and about 2 days editing, and then give or take. My favorite part is reading the comments, hanging out in the comments. I think I like it's different. It depends where I am in the process. Right now I'm in the process where I really like the part where I'm just sitting with the chessboard and just analyzing, finding out, trying out things for myself, and then when there's something I don't understand, I look up if somebody else has done some grandmaster level analysis, or I check it with my own engine, and then go back to the chessboard and start all over. And like that part is just I can sit for hours and hours just getting deep into the game. And at other times my favorite part is finding out how to get new ideas for how to make the videos more beautiful and better sounding and stuff. And that's not my favorite part right now, because I am stuck in a way that I haven't got the time and the money to do all the things I want to do. But if I get to that point, that will probably be my favorite part for some time again. Then Muhammad Ali, do you relax yourself when you make HSMR videos? I like how you spelled that. That's a regular viewer, I'm sure. I rewatch so many of your videos. That's how good you are. Keep it up, you'll get to 100k soon. Thank you so much. Yes, I really try to be relaxed when I make the videos, because it's pleasant for me, and I hope that also by being relaxed I can relax you. So yes. Outside of Damian, outside of chess, what's your favorite hobbies? I answered that. Will I ever do face reveal? I answered that. Rating again. How often do you play with a physical board against someone compared to playing online? Well, I used to do that all the time with my friends, and I hope to do that soon again. Also, when you play online, do you always play against a player, or do you play against a computer sometimes? I always play against humans. But me and my wife, like when my wife plays, and we sit, like she plays the computer, and then we can talk and discuss the moves, and then we just like hang out with it. So because the computer doesn't care how much time we spend. And so when we play together, we play against the computer. It's a really cool way to play chess, two people when you're playing against the computer. Then in Nyok, I don't know how to pronounce that. Congrats on 50k, thank you. You really do save way more. Well, thank you. Here's my question. Are you a self-taught chess player? How long have you been playing? Yes, I am. I've been playing since I am self-taught. I was taught through YouTube. How long I've been playing? Since I was in my early 20s. I've been playing, like, seriously. Patty. Hey, Patty, you're a new patron, aren't you? You just pledged on Patreon. Thank you very much. What makes me happy? Do I have a favorite film or book? Do I use my camera for photography at all? What makes me happy is... Well, that's a deep question. What makes me happy is to see people, including myself, but it's harder for me to be happy on my own behalf, but to see people overcome adversity, to grow, to find a good place in life, to see people use what they have inside and get that, put that out in the world, and be who, like, when nothing makes me happier than seeing somebody becoming what they need to be. That really makes me happy. If I have a favorite film or book, not a favorite. I have many films I love, and I have many books I love. Right now, I'm really into Inquiry by David Hume. It's one, like, I revisit it all the time. It's like a beautiful, beautiful book. I actually have a reading on it on the channel, like somewhere way, way back, like 6 years ago. I read some segments from it. And favorite films, I think right now it's 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I think that's absolutely amazing how they took that story and made it so human and in such an original way, and that how they took, like, one of the, like, characters that you get so much sympathy with is this, like, the stupid racist cop, and that they actually make you sympathize with him and make you understand why he is the way he is, without excusing his behavior, without saying that it is okay that he's a racist, because it's not okay, but you get a human, like, you connect with something there, and you, like, I really think that was beautifully done. Then Matt Jack, sometimes I see cable coming from your chessboard. What is that? You actually got me into chess, so thank you. Awesome. I'm happy for that. It's a USB cable to power the chessboard, otherwise the chessboard wouldn't work. How could you play chess when your chessboard has no power? I'm just kidding. It's like, have you seen the 2D graphics on the side? When I use the cable, it's because there's some technology inside the chessboard that can relay the position to the chess, and then I use screen capture and for that. So that's what that's about. Then Angela B says, congrats, little wonder your channel is growing. Great content, thank you. Do you listen to much ASMR yourself? In period, like, sometimes I really listen to a lot. I like, do I play chess and listen to ASMR? Yes, I do sometimes. I also want to know, as someone else asked, what chess piece should be if you could be a chess piece. Pretty sure it'd be a knight. How is your lovely friend who tells Inuit stories? She's doing great. She's doing great. How long does it take on average to make videos? About a week, like 4 days, if everything just goes according to plan. But I have to fit it in between all my other work, so it gets spaced out, and it'll take about a week. Thank you for indulging us. Please, not a question. I'm sat down. You took down the ASMR bullshit video. It was funny, but I get why you may have done it. Well, yeah, I had to take down a bunch of videos, and I know, like, also the Battlefield 2 video, people were sad that I took down, and like some other stuff, but I had to, unfortunately. Yeah, and ASMR artists that I listen to these days would be like Dido, Secret Scholar, Decaf Math, GB, like, because she does the questions ones where she asks questions. Those are really the only ones I watch, but I really like that. ASMR Writ, like, he hasn't been active for 8 years or something, but like, she's an old favorite of mine. And the one Lilium, there's a bunch of people. I was wondering if you had a game. This is Jay Padgett. you have saved somewhere that you consider either your best or even your immortal game. Keep it up and love the content. No, I don't have an immortal game. I have the most accurate game I ever played. And you can find that in a video called Learn Chess Strategy for Beginners. It's one of the first ones I did this year. Donkey Shot, probably. Congrats, I was wondering what recommendations you might have on good chess books to read. Also, do you have any tips on how to learn or memorize the notation of moves and how to visualize them through the coordinate system on the board? Thank you so much. Yes, I do. Just good chess books. I'll just say it again. My system is like for a beginner. That's the way to go. My System by Aaron Nimzowitsch. That book, like all the stuff that people talk about in chess, like the vocabulary, was originated in that book. And on how to learn or memorize the notation of moves and how to visualize them through the coordinate system on the board, I have a very good tip. What you do is you take some simple short opening. Here I would recommend maybe the England Gambit, and because it ends on checkmate on move 7 on some variations. And first what you do is you learn that variation by heart, the one that goes checkmate on move 7. You can actually watch, I have in my Learn Chess Opening Tricks and Relax video that's on the channel, I tell the England Gambit. It's the one that goes queen's pawn, 2 spaces, so d4, and then black respawns king's pawn, 2 spaces, so that's e4. So that's a gambit. That's the England Gambit, and I show some variations. And you take one of the variations, probably one that ends in checkmate on move 7. And what you do is first you memorize it so you know all the moves, and then you start writing it down. First, while you have the moves and you have the chessboard and you have the coordinates, and then you write it down as you play the moves, and then you do it without the chessboard, and then when you write them down, you visualize. Okay, when I write 1 d4, that corresponds to this move, and then you do that over and over again, and then you start doing it with other games. And games like short games are good for it. Games like the opera game, I also have that on the channel, are good because you want games where you, for every move, you understand why they do that move, so you can remember, okay, then black did this, so white now played this because they wanted to attack here, so you can understand the entirety of the story. And then you just do the same, and first you memorize the game, and then you write it down while you play it out on the board, and then you try to see how accurate you are in just writing it down. It works like a charm. Then Greg, what smartboard and program do you use to review your games? I use the TGT board, and I use currently Stockfish 13, running through, I think, the Chessbase interface on a pretty killer machine that I built. Then Martin Cat, could we maybe get a mini setup tour around the room we record in? Yes, I'll probably do that at some point. I don't know how to pronounce that. My question is, how can I survive if you don't post another video? Well, I hope you will survive. And I hope that you'll be okay if I don't post videos for some time, because I will, and I try to post videos all the time. But it's a lot of work, and maybe I'll have to take a vacation at some point, or maybe just chill for a bit. Then please do more opening videos, explain like you did with the Sicilian. Yep, I want to do that. Those are coming up. congrats for hitting 50k, but it will be 500k soon. Mark my words. Well, your words have been marked. I really hope that's the case, because then I could make videos all the time, and you wouldn't have to wonder. You wouldn't have to worry that I wouldn't post another video, because I would post videos all the time. Russell says you are awesome. Thank you. Sound quality and video voice footage. Okay, there's not a question, but thank you very much for your nice words. Then Tia Tabs 13. You deserve 50k and so much more. Thank you. Do you have a favorite piece? And if so, why is it your favorite? The pawn is my favorite piece. Because it's the soul of chess, as Philidor said back in the 1700s. It's the most subtle, because it's so underpowered, but there are so many of them. Like, if you didn't have pawns, like, pawns are really the true genius of how chess is designed, to my mind. And then the second best idea is the knight, because like all the other pieces are just variants of each other. Like, they are like you have the queen, and every other piece are just different ways of handicapping the queen. Okay, you take the rook, so you take away the ability to move like diagonally. You take the bishop, you take away the ability to move vertically. You have the king, you take away the ability to move more than one square. So those are all really basically the same idea. But then you have the knight that has like a completely different way of moving, and then you have the pawns that have like a completely different way. They even capture differently from how they move, and they are super weak, but they can become queens or can promote, and the way they are arranged, because there are so many of them, like defines the theme of the chess game. So absolutely, without a doubt, the pawn. Raymond Wath, congrats. Thank you. My question says, have you played in any tournaments, and if so, do you have any stories? I don't. I have played like over the board a little bit, but I don't play competitively. I like that. I have the story that I told earlier, where I beat an FM, was kind of funny to me, because I didn't know. Like, when I think he even got a little bit upset when we were talking after the game, and I asked how strong he was, and he was like, I'm a master. And I was just like, what, are you really a master? And he was like, yes, I am. But I was just so surprised that was the first time I beat a master, and I was like so surprised that. So I think he thought that maybe I thought that he was weak or something. I didn't think he was weak. I had no idea that I had just reached like a huge milestone for myself. Then P.O. asks e4 or e5. Well, I think I'm not sure that question actually makes a lot of sense, because e4 is a move for white, and e5 is a move for black. I will say I sometimes play e4 when I play white. I never play e5 responding to e4. I always play c5 or g6. So probably I'll say e4 here. Rating Marion. Hey Marion, what's up? Well deserved, way to go. Thank you so much. Marion is also like an ASMR artist. Like, she's really, really good, by the way. William Kim says, how do you choose which games to analyze? Where do you find them? Usually I have a long list, and I choose from what I am interested in and what I feel the most like doing at that time. And you can find the games that, like, if you need the, you can find them on chessgames.com. if you need the exact PGN file to analyze. And where I learn about the games is from like reading a bunch of chess books, reading a bunch of articles, following chess all the time, and watching a bunch of chess videos, and just basically consuming all chess content that I can. And I have been doing that for many years, so I have like a huge library inside my head of games and stories that I would like to do videos on. Jacob asked what my background is in chess. Did you compete? Only a little bit, enough to get like an over-the-board rating, but nothing serious at all. Miles Howells, would you ever consider doing ASMR games over the board against someone? Yes, that is coming. It's just logistically a little hard, but I will make such a video. Hobby question: when did I learn to play? Not a Gianluca Del Anna, not a question. Actually, just wanted to say that watching your videos is really entertaining and is the best to watch in late night. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much. Cool if it helps you with your insomnia. I actually suffered from insomnia, and that was how I got into ASMR videos. So if I can give something back and help you with your insomnia, that's super cool. Can you please make a video on the Dutch defense? I'm not an expert on the Dutch. If I get the chance to get into it a little bit later, then I would like to, yes. I have a little note on the Dutch defense in upcoming Queen's Gambit video. Then a Homino Cap says, Mashallah, brother, congratulations. Do remember to take breaks when needed though. Well, thank you for your concern for my well-being. Thank you. My question is, what is the difference between playing online and on a real board from your experience? How does the entire experience differ? I play way better over the board. I don't know, it's something about, like, my hand is probably a little bit of a better chess player than I am. Like, when I look in a position, I can kind of feel what my hand wants to do, and it's sort of it's an intuitive thing. And I think because of the physical chessboard gives me much more information. Like, it has texture, it has like, the lighting is always a little bit unique, and the pieces have weight and they take up space in the real world. And so, like, I get the information about what the position in. I get that information in through more senses, in like feel and touch, and visually also more interesting. And I think it activates just a bigger part of my of my brain, and it's just more enjoyable to me. Max, is a compliment. Thank you very much. Gabrielle Dolce, what chessboard do you use in your videos? And thank you for the compliment. It's the TGT chessboard. How did you come to find out about chess, and what made you love it so much? It was a gradual process, but in my early 20s, I had I had so much time because I was sick, and I had to fill with something. So I had to find something that was, could be interesting in many ways. And chess, if you don't have brain power to actually play, then you can learn. And if you don't have like if that part of your brain is like tired or whatever, you can learn about like a cool story about some player, or like how the game was invented 1500, 2000 years ago, or 2000 years ago, or like there's just so, like the fact that I could use it and it was interesting no matter how I felt. It would always have something interesting and deep and beautiful and fascinating. That was how I fell in love. Then Dank Avenger, that's a fun name. How do you memorize where every piece go during a recording? Do you memorize the game beforehand? Do you have a list of moves on paper next to you? Nope. And then some compliment and thank you. How I memorize it is I analyze the game for hours, and I understand the context. So I analyze the game until I understand why the players did what they did. So I don't have to remember the moves, I can remember the ideas and the story. And that's the trick. Because just remembering the moves in a vacuum is hard. It's actually way harder to remember the moves if you don't know all the variations. But if you know all the key variations, you have an intuitive understanding. Okay, here of course you have to play knight f6 because otherwise, Tal will sack here and then this will happen, and then you get checkmated. And then when you have that in the back of your mind and you look at the position, your mind automatically says, okay, there's this threat, I have to defend against it. Oh, that's right, he played knight f6 to stop that. And then later knight f6 was used to do this other thing. So that's how I do that. Then Joffrey says, thanks for putting what I do outside of YouTube for a living. I'm a media guy. Chris Rickenbach. What is the favorite part of the ASMR experience? Sharing backstory behind the games or sharing the games themselves? I think my favorite part is when sharing the backstory and the game can become one and the same. So that when the story of the game and the actual moves is all part of one story. That's my favorite thing. Elo question. Opening video. Would it be possible, Sierra Bright Bile asks, would it be possible for you to cover more current games happening in tournaments right now? If I was doing this full time, I would absolutely love to do that. It's probably pretty, because it takes so long time for me to make a video. So it would probably be pretty hard, but yeah. Everybody who wants me to do this, best thing you can do is, if you have the money, to support me on Patreon, because every single dollar I get is time I can take off work and make more videos. Then Kinetic, what drives you, what motivates you in life? What drives you, what motivates you in life? I've been thinking about this. When I speak to my friends about this, I found out that we are sometimes very different. And then I have some friends that I align more with. Because some people are motivated by something external. They have a vision of some sort of life that they want. Like they want to have this amount of money, or they want to be a doctor, so they will work together towards that goal. Or they want to be safe, or they want to have this wife or this husband or whatever. And it is an external thing. And for me and a couple of my other friends, we've been thinking about, okay, well, that doesn't really, I have never been motivated by money, for instance. I have worked sometimes because I needed money. but I wasn't interested in having the money. I just needed to pay my rent. And like for me, motivation is like this weird thing that comes from inside, where sometimes it's just like a lot of people were asking me in this Q&A that why I did the channel and what motivated me to do the channel, and I had no like goal. I just got like inside sometimes like I got a feeling that I should do that, or like I just wanted to make a ASMR chess video. There should be an ASMR chess video. I just felt there should be one, so I did one. And so like motivation's really hard for me to it's really hard for me to explain what motivates me. I just hyper focus on some things, and there's some things that I just really want to do, and then I do those things if I can. Then there's an ELO question. Then Hugo Oliveira. My videos are amazing, thank you. What I do for a living, I do media stuff. Who is my favorite chess player? That's Gary Kasparov. Say hi to Brazil. Hi Brazil, what's up? What's up Brazil? Awesome country. I actually haven't ever been, but I have a friend who's like, he went to Brazil when he was a teenager, and he's just gone back like every year or every 2 years ever since, and he's always like, oh, you have to Cinco de Dois, or like this rapper is like super cool, or this part of Brazilian history. So I know a lot about Brazil and how awesome it is from this guy, because he's like a Brazilophile. Elaine Samar. Elaine Samar. Hello, what's up, Elaine? She's also an ASMR artist. She's cool. Go check her out. Congrats on the milestone. Thank you. I'd really like to know how you first got interested in chess. Oh, I've been answering that a lot of times. Then we have one of my favorite usernames ever, Fidel Cashflow. And I tried to pun him back once. I said I'm Czech Guevara, because, Czech. But anyways, I've always been curious as to why there are videos on the channel of a woman telling stories, I think in a different language. When I was binging your videos, I found those and was a little confused as to who that is, what her relation to the channel is, etc. Keep up the great work, man. Thank you. That's one of my friends, and she's from Greenland, and she speaks Kalaallisut, which is the Greenlandic language, one of the main the main Greenlandic language. It's an Inuit language, and I overheard her just speak it at some point, and I was like, that is the most ASMR sounding language I can imagine. And I just said, do you want to do a video just for fun? And she was like, yeah. And then we did some videos, and people really liked them, and I hope to do more. How did the idea of making chess channel but in ASMR come about? And then that is key. And then Fewest says, from what I saw, he watched a video by Ephemeral Rift, who did a chess how to play ASMR, and he commented saying he wanted to make a channel all about chess and ASMR. Yes, exactly. That's like it was one of the things that made me realize I could just do it. So I did it. Yeah, that was a really pivotal moment, that Ephemeral Rift. And that comment section, I'm still getting notifications about people saying, oh, you guys should play each other, and I've been I need to play Ephemeral Rift someday. That would be the full circle for this channel. Did you ever play against a title player? And yes, if yes, against who? I actually played many title players, but it's only I only ever beat masters. I never beat IMs or GMs, and it's just like having a beer and playing with these guys, and they just crush me. But it's still fun. Little Crunch asks what my favorite opening is. It's the Queen's Gambit. Evangelis B asks if I ever played chess professionally. Absolutely not. I have to be like 10 times as good. Like you have to be insanely good to play chess professionally. So no. Then Skexis asks where I'm from. I'm from Denmark. Then Harry asks who got me interested in chess. I've been answering that all evening. Another one from Brazil, Manuel Max Le de Silva. Who are my 3 favorite players, the ones I like the most? I would say Kasparov, right now Aronian, and Anand. That's right now. Like Kasparov's always going to be on that list. Sometimes it's going to be Spassky and Bobby Fischer. Sometimes it's going to say Tal because of the beautiful attacking ideas. A lot of the times I'm going to say Steinitz because of his contribution to chess theory. A lot of the times I'm going to say Morphy because just how amazing he was and his interesting life story. And yeah, I could go on and on and on and on. I'll have to do dedicated videos for this. And a greeting from Brazil. Well, greetings to Brazil again. It's crazy, I have viewers in Brazil. That's crazy. Congratulations, you should be proud. I guess I am. But I'm more thankful. What made you decide to make videos more regularly? And this is Ted Thomas asking. It was that the amount of comments I got and the amount of subscribers and views just exploded. 6, 7, 8 months ago, it just exploded, and I was just like, okay, I can't not make videos if people have this response to it. Where did I get my chessboard from? That's from Chess House. And then Captain Alex says, congratulations, thank you. And that was the last question. Thanks for watching. Thanks for 50,000 subscribers. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? That's insane. Thank you so much. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes and for viewing the videos and for your feedback and your great ideas and just for making this a thing. Thank you guys for being so awesome, for being the most awesome community I have ever encountered online at all. You guys have the best vibe ever. Thank you so much. I hope I'll see you in the next video. HSMR out.